Cena, I'm a bad man.
And we got him, hip-hop artist, future movie star, and WWE champ John Cena. We asked him about the sacrifices he made, his hip-hop career, and being the next big thing.
Here he comes! He got him! No way! He got him! He got him!
It's John Cena one-on-one, and you won't believe what he has to say next.
I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Cake Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
OTR has gone one-on-one with every great wrestler alive. Bret Hart, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Vince, Hogan. That's big company, right, John Cena? Do you belong in that group?
Absolutely not. I'm just a kid from West New Orleans.
Well, you're never going to cut it in wrestling if you're going to show that kind of humility.
Well, you know, I'm putting a different twist on it, man.
Well, we welcome the champ of the WWE.
I appreciate it, man.
Rising or risen star. You are a rapper. You're a wrestler. Define yourself to us.
I'm just an entertainer, first and foremost, trying to prove that, you know, WWE's got the best entertainment on the planet.
What is your role right now in the WWE? Because the WWE is always looking for the next guy, and each guy kind of carves out a niche for himself. What's your role?
You know what? I don't even look at it like that, man. They give me a chance to do my thing every week, and they let me do me. I have no restrictions on what I get to do when I go through that curtain.
So when I look at you in the ring, when I hear you talk, are you saying that's you? That's not a work?
I get no restrictions whatsoever on my character, because as far as hip hop, the world where I come from, their creative staff knows nothing about it. They just let me go through and do me.
How much of what you do is scripted? Because you are clearly respected for what you do.
Everybody's got their own style. There's a lot of guys who like to go by the book. I like to sit here and wing it, like even for this interview. You were like, do you mind? I said, nope, let's just shoot the breeze and get it out of the way.
Do you worry that, and you released an album last week, right?
Yeah.
Your first album.
Yeah.
You obviously spent a lot of time on that. Do you worry that it's difficult to get great at two different things, and at some point you got to decide either I'm a wrestler and I want to be as physically good at what I do, or I'm a hip-hop guy? You got to pick one.
Absolutely not. I've been recording this album for the past 2.5 years. I've never missed a WWE date. This has been my best run to date with the WWE, and we got unbelievable reviews on the album. So you can do two at once. It all comes from here, man.
Tell me how it started with the WWE.
I found out that I could actually go to school to learn how to wrestle. I paid my money and started wrestling.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Of course I was. I watched...
Oh, you say of course. I mean, I wasn't a wrestling fan growing up, so...
I was. I came from a family of 4 other brothers, and we all watched. My father was a huge fan.
So when you think back to wrestling that you watched with your brothers and your dad, who did you watch? Who had an impact on you?
We were generous enough to be in a spot where we got cable, so we watched old WWF. I grew up with Hulkamania, but we also watched NWA. I grew up with Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, Ric Flair. We got World Class Championship. I saw the Freebirds and Von Erichs, Dick Murdoch, and we got AWA too. So I saw the Rick Martells, the Road Warriors, Baron Von Raschke's. We got the best of everything. Wrestling was on 24/7 at the time.
I think if you're trying to pass the test whether or not you actually did watch it when you're growing up, I think you clearly have passed the test.
It was just one of those things where it was a tradition.
Now, you also played some football, right?
Yes, I did.
In college. And was there a time in your life where that's where you wanted to go?
In high school, all I wanted to do was play college football. But I played offensive line, and I knew that after college I was done, so I just made the most of my time at college. By the time I graduated, I was team captain, first team All-American, very well-decorated offensive lineman. Tell
me when you signed your first contract. Because it was fast, right?
A year and a half.
You were given a real fast push.
A year and a half after I started wrestling on the Southern California Independence, I signed my first contract for $200 a week.
What'd they see in you, do you think, at that time?
Giving me $200 a week, they saw nothing in me.
Not much.
But it was just one of those things where they gave me a chance. They saw something in me. I had a physical build that was very good, and my strength was on a microphone. So, I mean, they saw that right away, and slowly I got to work up the ladder.
Does anyone resent the success that you've had as quickly as you've had?
There's always people that's going to hate you out there.
Yeah. And who hates you?
I'm like this.
Who do you look at and you think, you know what, he doesn't respect me because it's gone too quickly?
To all of that, I'm like this. Because I know entertainment is just like this. I'm getting some shine now, you know, and there'll be a time where I'm not on top.
How political is the dressing room?
For me, yeah. I don't pay attention to any of that. I mean, you hear so much.
Is that just your easy way out in the answer?
No, because, absolutely not. Because if I did, I'd be caught up in all this BS. You know, I do me, and I've never strayed away from what I do. You know, that's who I am.
One of the things you got to do as a young wrestler, to some extent, is you got to respect the guys that came before
Of
you.
course,
Right?
of course. I think a lot of that for me was growing up a fan. I watched the people that I'm in the dressing room with, so it's easy for me to respect them. They paved the way for me to be here.
Who do you respect?
Guys like Taker, seeing Flair in the locker room, seeing Triple H in the locker room, Hogan, seeing Hogan. Even guys who were on the way out as I was coming in, Austin, Rock, like those are the guys, that's the reason I'm here.
Would you do what you did if you couldn't expand outside the boundaries? Would you just be a wrestler?
Absolutely.
Because you now live in a world where you can go outside. And you mentioned The Rock, and Rock's the best example of a guy who's crossed over.
Dude, I was paying to wrestle. I was getting $10 a night to drive to San Francisco, which is 8 hours. I would do it if I had to pay for it. It's not something that, you know, I'm trying to cross over or do whatever. I have the opportunity to, so I'm doing it.
When you put it all together and you look back now at what got you in the ring, who helped you along the way where you say, that guy gave me a push and without him I probably couldn't have made it?
You know what? I can say honestly, Steve Lombardi was very pivotal in where I am. Vince McMahon himself is very pivotal in where I am. Jim Cornette down in Ohio Valley Wrestling is very pivotal in where I am.
Because you have to have Vince in your corner, right? If you don't, in wrestling nowadays, if you don't have Vince in your corner, there's no other place to go.
It's his show, man. It's his show. So along the way, there have been a few people. Those are probably the top three.
Where do you go now? Because I got a ton of questions to ask you about how you got there, about other guys. But for you, you've told me you've already made a movie?
Yeah, the movie's already in the can. It's called The Marine. It's a WWE Films' first production. It's in conjunction with 20th Century Fox. It's hoping to come out in the fall.
And the album did come out.
The album is already out. It debuted at #3 in the hip-hop charts, Billboard. It debuted at number 15 over top 200 overall.
You're a sports fan, right? You're wearing a Red Sox hat?
Hell yeah.
Grew up in the area, obviously.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the #1 question in sports right now, which is steroids.
Sure.
And we'll talk about that when we return with the champion and a pretty damn good guy, John Cena, on Off the Record. More in a moment.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
The list of legends that held the title now include me, bro. I'll be a better champion than Bruno Sammartino.
A Yankee jersey? How does that happen?
Roger Clemens jersey.
No, you told me moments ago, you said, I am in the ring exactly who I am. So I'm going to say, John Cena, you're a Yankees fan. You are.
I'm a Roger Clemens fan. I was wearing a Roger Clemens jersey.
Nice, John. But we wanted to show that clip because you really are extraordinarily good with a microphone. Where does that come from?
That's just my ability to be a ham, dude. Even when I was an offensive lineman, when you get no press, I was always the kid running around, being a ham, entertaining the rest of the team. Like, that's what I do.
So you were a trash talker back there in the days of the offensive line?
During the game, absolutely not. During practice, when I'm with my teammates, that's when I talk trash.
Does it bother you? Because I asked around, and when we were researching this, guys said John Cena better with the microphone than he is in the ring as a wrestler. Is that fair?
It's sports entertainment. Of course that's fair. I'm not going to be remembered for being Dean Malenko or Chris Benoit or Bret Hart. Everybody has their strong points. I add to the program the element of entertainment.
How do you get better in the ring?
You work.
How do you work? What does that mean?
You spar with guys. I mean, you hone your craft. You watch footage of yourself. It's very similar to honing your craft as an athlete. If you're an offensive lineman and needs to get better, you watch films on yourself to see what you did wrong.
And you do it repeatedly, right?
Of course.
And does anyone wrestle more than you? I mean, what's your schedule now? Because
250 live shows a year.
250 live shows a year.
Yep.
Do you worry about the toll that will take on your body?
Absolutely not. You can't.
You don't worry about that?
Absolutely not.
You were talking, you respect the history of it. Guys before you, all kinds of chronic, debilitating injuries at best.
Of course.
How does that not scare you?
That's like worrying about crashing a plane, getting on a flight, knowing that planes do crash. You don't think about it. I love to do it. You go out there and do it. I mean, if the time comes where I'm injured and I can't do what I do, so be it. But I love what I do.
Do you place any limitations on what you would do in the ring?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If it's for the good of the product and it's for the good of the business, I'll do whatever it takes.
Do you worry, though, that guys like you burn out?
Of course.
Yeah, and what you do is...
You don't understand, though. I'm a kid from small town West Newbury. I'm not even supposed to be here. If I burn out, so be it. I go back to working, mowing lawns at a golf course, which is what I was doing before this. I would be fine with that. The fact that I'm here is a blessing. The fact that I got this is a blessing. So if it ends tomorrow, I'm a happy man.
One of the things that Mick Foley said was that the thing that concerned him was that he would set a standard in the ring that that he was willing to do, right? Mick would do anything. I mean, you're talking about the history of what you do.
Course.
Mick Foley would do anything in the ring to entertain the fans. But he worried about the effect that that would have on others, because he said that was his standard, not necessarily others.
Everybody's got their own personal standard. I'll do whatever I'm capable of. I will give 100% of myself to the business. You know, if they want me to entertain, I'll entertain. If they want me to get in a car wreck, I'll get in a car wreck. If it's for the purpose of the business and it's going to better our product, then I'll do it. I don't place any limitations on myself.
I had a great conversation with Edge on this show, and he was talking about how he broke his neck falling from a ladder, and he did it repeatedly. And I said to him when he was hurt, would you go back to doing it? And he said, I hope not, but I think when I get out there, when I hear the crowd, when the pride is on the line, I'll probably do it.
Pride
do you understand what he's talking about? What does that mean when you talk about pride in the ring?
Pride is an evil thing, and your WWE audience is very fickle. And once they see what you're capable of, they demand for you to repeat that process.
Be very careful, John, right? Because when you set the bar here,
but
nothing here is acceptable in the future.
If that is all I'm capable of at that specific time, every time I step through those ropes, I'm going to give you 100%. If what I have on that given day, maybe a little bit less than what I gave the time before, I'm still giving you everything I got.
Now, you're wearing a hat today for a reason, right? Not just because you're a Red Sox fan, because you got bruises.
Because my head looks like a
cuts.
baseball, because I got stitches.
Take it off for a second, just to give us an idea of what you do. Now,
that's what I got.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you in the ring?
That. I got bludgeoned to death with every foreign object known to man, and I was covered in a pool of my own blood. How
much blood did you lose? Because when you were walking in to our show today, right, there's a whole group of people on the street.
Sure.
And we actually went down and asked them, what kind of questions should we ask John Cena? And they wanted to know how much blood you lost.
I absolutely have no idea. I've just never...
That was Judgment Day, right?
I've never seen that much blood in my life. And when veterans of the business come up to me and say that was a great match and one of the bloodiest I've ever seen, that means there was a lot of blood.
That was against JBL, right?
That was against JBL, yeah.
Is that your best match to date?
A lot of people are saying that because sometimes because I'm an entertainment guy, they question my passion for the business and what I'll do for the business. I think me taking that step was good in shutting their mouth and just saying that I'm really passionate about what I do. I just have a different style than, let's say, Chris Benoit or Bret Hart.
That's what you have to do, though, right? You have to sacrifice in the ring somehow.
No, you just got to prove to those people that, listen, I'm not here for a quick
But that's
fix.
a badge of honor, right? I mean,
a lot of people consider it that. A lot of people consider it that. For me, you know, that's what we needed to do. You know, this is an I-quit match. Anything goes, so anything had to go.
What did you guys say to each other afterwards? You have this dramatic match where you're bleeding like a pig and you go back to the dressing room afterwards? What'd you say?
It's one of those things where he's getting stitched up, I'm getting cleaned up, so we don't really pass in the night. You know, everybody's got to get their attention, so at that point we're both a critical mess. You get your selective attention, the night's over after that.
Yeah, do you talk to him regularly? 'Cause
now I do, but if you've seen us go at it before, and we've gone at it a bunch, he beat the hell out of me. And it's one of those things where he's a traditionalist and I'm not. You know, I take things the other way.
Right. Is that real heat, though? Or is that pretend?
It pisses off a lot of people, you know, and JBL is one of the people who protects wrestling, and he just wants to make sure that I'm not in it for a quick fix.
Because, you know, it's difficult for the public to understand, right? Because what you do is there's a lot of acting, and everyone seems to be pissed off at everyone else.
Yes.
But you're saying that there's two different factions, and you represent a different faction that
I am the 1% of a different faction that enforces change in wrestling. I don't wear tights. I don't wear boots. I don't have long hair. You know, I bring a lot different to the table than the traditional wrestler. And I get judged by the people before me who built this business, who respect this business. And they see me as wanting to change everything that they built for the worse. I believe I'm changing it for the better. So I gotta take my lumps along that process. And once I pass each one of those levels, I get a newfound respect from the people that are
one of the things that has certainly been relevant in your business for the guys before you was the use of steroids to get bigger and stronger and look better. And I'm going to ask you about that when OTR returns with John Cena. Stay with us. Why the smirk? You're laughing. You like seeing that?
Well, yeah, it's like the old people biting change to make sure it's real. I didn't know what to do, so I just wanted to make sure everything was real.
We were in commercial, and what you were saying was real. Is that you've been hurt by the comments that the guys who you respect, the guys who came before you, had to say about you.
It doesn't.
Who has said stuff that you said? Well, you know what? That's really disrespectful.
It doesn't hurt. It's honest, and I'd rather take honesty from guys like Undertaker, from Kurt Angle, from Pat Patterson, you know, from our road agent crew, the guys who really have your best interests in mind, or the business best interest. They'll say, listen, kid, you suck, or you need work on this, this, and this. It's so political to come through the curtain and say, hey, good match, and talk trash behind your back. When people come up to me and say, listen, I can't believe you did that out there, that looked horrible, don't ever do that again. That's real talk, and that's protecting what we do, because you want to put your best foot forward. I've been knocked by every single person on SmackDown, every single person on Raw. I've had my ass chewed out by everybody, because I'm in a learning process. Like you said, I'm young. I kind of, you know, I fast-tracked it to where I'm at. They want to make sure that the business is in good hands when they walk.
Plus, you're the next generation, right? You have a different approach to it, and guys like that are always going to be offended because you're challenging what they do.
You're right. I'm challenging the ideals, so at the same time, you know, they see a young kid with a lot of flair doing what he's got to do, and they just want to make sure it's all right.
Why are steroids such a big deal in sports right now? I mean, you're a mainstream sports fan.
Performance enhancement. Why are they so big? Because it enhances performance.
Is it wrong?
By the rule book, it's wrong. By the rule book, it's wrong.
But you kind of couch it there, because you say by the rule book it's wrong, implying that there's maybe a different aspect where it's not wrong?
Well, to be honest with you, I'll use baseball as an example. The controversy in baseball right now, steroids is the talk of the month. It's the talks in spring training. They've instituted a testing policy, and now they're going with what they think is the right path. Baseball won me back when I started to see all these long ball home runs, when I started to see these superhero home run shots. Just as sports entertainment won its crowd when you start to see these superhero people come through the curtain.
Have you done it?
Absolutely not. I've been natural since day one. I competed as a natural bodybuilder. I've been working out ever since I was 12 years old. I've been blessed with big bones and a good physique, and I tell anybody I'll pee in any cup as you want to.
What are the rules? That's not required, by the way, on this show. what are the rules of what you do? What does the WWE say?
WWE has no substance abuse policy. We get randomly tested, and it's just that. You get randomly tested at any moment in time. There's no written substance abuse policy, but you can show up at any given event, and there'll be doctors there watching you pee in a cup.
But you say there's no policy. What happens if you're caught taking something?
WWE is very generous with what they do. It looks out for the best interest of their sports entertainers. We are...
And their best interest, though, is big, strong guys, right?
Their best interest is a good product, and we don't want big, strong guys who have no control of themselves and big, strong guys who go off on a substance binge. So if you get caught and you break the substance abuse policy, WWE makes sure you're taken care of. They take you to rehab, you get cleaned up, and you're given a second chance. You strike out twice, you hit the road.
Are steroids a problem right now in WWE?
Steroids are not a problem right now in WWE. In the early 90s, steroids were a huge problem in the WWE. And you've seen the WWE evolve. Steroids seem to be the talk of what's going on now. We went through our lumps in the early 90s. You know, the NFL's gone through their lumps. Right now, baseball's taking their lumps. It's just one of those things, man.
WCW in the old days, it was a huge issue there, wasn't it?
Dude, you're talking to a kid who was on the other side of the barricade when that happened. You know what I'm saying? I was buying tickets when that happened.
Yeah, it's better on this side of the barricade, isn't it? Life in general is better on this side of the barricade.
No, it's a different hustle, man. It's a different hustle.
So you want to go back to the other side of the barricade?
You still get that same excitement sitting out there. You know, and I wouldn't even be between the ropes if it wasn't for the fans buying tickets.
Nicely said. On that note, we go to break with John Cena, who currently is on this side of the barricade, and I'm glad I'm on this side with you.
Off the record,
for this short period of time. As we go to break, we always offer our viewers a chance to ask you a question. Hey, John, you're a big Boston sports fan. What was a bigger thrill, winning the belt or the Red Sox finally winning the World Series?
Titles come and go. World Series ring every 86 years was the most unbelievable thrill I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. So you still, even given what you do, live vicariously through others?
Yes.
More OTR with John Cena in a moment.
This is the master plan. We got the planet on hold. We all over the streets like your favorite sneaker. Breaking up your sound sound like a drive-through speaker. Everything that I be spitting is strong. After I rock, fast forward through the rest of the song. We the monkey wrench that's gonna ruin your plan. And don't f with John Cena, I'm a bad man.
With the mic in my hands, I'm a bad man. Even in the fight with my hands.
Not your typical hip-hop video.
Not your typical hip-hop video. And I got to say, I'm not necessarily the typical host in that I'm not into kissing the guy's ass, but that is actually really, really entertaining. The name of the video is Bad Bad Man.
That's right.
And the name of the CD is?
You Can't See Me.
And that is available now across North America,
Everywhere.
which of course includes this great country that you're in right now.
It does. So I mean, it's...
Who showed up at the set? Was it Christina Aguilera? Did
Christina
I hear?
Aguilera showed up there. We had Gary Coleman in the video. It turns out Christina Aguilera's little brother was a huge fan. It was his birthday. We didn't know she was coming. She rolled up with her entourage, and you know, we treated him to the kickoff of his birthday.
Let me throw out some names. We do a little thing with wrestlers always in the show, word association.
Sure.
I'll throw out some names. You give me 1 word, 2 words, a sentence.
Clear my head. We'll try to get
Hulk Hogan.
My hero.
Triple H.
The business.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's pretty neutral.
The business is thriving. It's a great thing.
Jim Corbett. Or, I'm sorry, Cornette.
A genius.
Vince. You didn't leave yourself.
Super genius.
I was going to say
genius.
You didn't leave any place to go after genius.
No, Jim Cornette is a wrestling genius. Vince McMahon is an entertainment genius.
What makes Vince the legend that he is?
His ability to see what is best for the business.
And what's best for the business right now?
What's best for the business right now is good quality programming. And
yeah, but that's come on, but that's easy. I mean,
his
it's always good.
His ability to take that brand and branch out. You know, he's always trying to do different stuff, and he's not afraid to fail.
Is the key to the business sending guys like you in economy class and not business and first class?
Dude, I grew up traveling by the bathroom. You can fly
well,
me.
you made an issue of it, right? Because you guys were flying first class, then they bumped you back to economy, and that became an issue.
No, the deal was when we do international tours, we don't get it twisted. We fly commercial straight up. Everything is this, you know, U.S.
Do I see you as a future union rep there?
They ain't no union, bro. It never has, never will.
John Cena, this has been a ton of fun. Thanks for joining us.
No, we off the record, man. It's all good.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Cake Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight. Michael Landsberg's clothing provided by Victorinox, Swiss Army, available at Cole Fitz Menswear in Dieppe and better retailers across Canada.
I'm a bad man.